Hi, Tony. Can you hear us?
It says she has her, it's muted, I think.
Can you hear me?
We can. Thank you.
Okay.
Ooh, big kid.
He's 26 inches
How old?
and he's 14 pounds.
How-
6 months.
6 months? Yeah. We got a, we got a,
Your wife's little, right?
yeah. We got a 7-month-old grandkid. Nah, we're not that kid.
You have one or how many grandkids?
Just one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
little boy?
Girl.
Girl?
Annie.
Better. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
Does she like airplanes?
Not yet.
Not yet. How old is she?
6 months. 7 months.
Oh,
7 months.
she's little too.
Yeah. But she's little.
She's dainty.
Yeah.
I don't have the notes from last time, do you?
They might not be in this packet.
So is Fred gonna not make it?
No, he said he couldn't make it because it's now required in person and I
Yeah.
don't think he feels.
Not gonna do it.
I have the minutes. And I think the minutes were in the, I have them because I brought my own, but do you have minutes in your packet? You wanna make a copy of mine?
Do not.
I have mine too.
You go on the desktop?
Oh, there you go. You can use mine.
Yeah. I have mine
You
too.
do? Oh, you do have yours, okay.
Nope.
We can
I can
share
make
it.
it, I can make a copy. I can give you the
Or we can go, you can, it's on here, right?
Yeah, let me make a copy.
Okay.
Are these new chairs?
Maybe you just got a good one that's nice and. They're pretty comfy though. This big for me. I have to really, it would not be my desk chair. But they're comfy. Everything can be back there.
I have way too much right now.
Yeah? There's probably some kind of adjustment.
We'll make this short. Sweet to the point. Tony, can you hear me? Tony, can you hear me? All right.
Thank you.
You ready?
Recording in progress.
All right, call to order.
Dang.
Can we stand for the pledge?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we got roll call. Chairman Jay Pankowski,
Present.
Vice Chair Renee Wells,
Present?
Commissioner Eric Martin, Commissioner Mark Sterrett,
Here.
Commissioner Fred Meyer, and I'm Executive Secretary Adam Bocanegra. Verification of agenda posting. The agenda for the Airport Advisory Commission of the City of Hollister meeting of October 27th, 2021, posted on the bulletin board at City Hall on October 20th at 10 a.m. per Government Code, Section 54954.2.
We have the time to review minutes from last meeting.
I see one correction under 5 for consent. I believe it was approving the minutes of the August meeting instead of the September meeting, because these are the minutes of the September meeting. I don't know what the date was.
We had a meeting on August 25th.
That's the only correction I see.
Okay.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, you're right.
Do you want me to make a motion?
Sure.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of September 22nd with the one correction for under item 5. Do we have a second? Mark, do you want a
I
second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Oh, reading.
Public input.
We have no public on Zoom, and anybody in the chambers would like to speak, now's a good time.
Okay.
I think we're good.
We'll move right along to reports. Sign update from the vendor.
So sign up date for vendor, we actually had no agreement from the last vendor. We found a new vendor to do signs. We have the example up there on the packet I sent you. I gave you that. So these are, let me see what it says here. So this is Chaparral Sign Company. And he says, suggesting panels that are aluminum faced with PVC center and white vinyl letters. So those are, he's able to put logos on them, any style lettering, but they'll be universal backing plates. So whatever fits in that, which he's saying 10-inch by 48-inch sign can fit basically any logo to shrink to that size or fit to that size there.
And how are they mounted?
Those will be screwed to it.
Okay.
There's already holes where they removed the Cibrisa one that we talked about. So if you get agreed to these, then they will all be universal size, and then the logos and names will go inside the sign on vinyl, so they can be removed, but the sign will be still there.
And is there a reason for the change in vendor?
Just having a little bit of difficulty with
With-
agreement. There was no agreement that we found that we were looking for, so.
Then to
we-
try to have
Yes,
a,
and we had a suggestion to use somebody else, so we called them in, and this is what came out of it. So those cost $250 each. The signs cost $250 each, and they're saying that here would be $100 per year to put one sign up. So if you want to put 2 on the wings, it would be $100 a year to put your vinyl name logo in that sign.
Now, is that the pricing from the vendor, or is that the
That's
amount
just
the
a
airport's charge?
Just a suggestion, yes.
Okay, okay. And the signs will all be the same size and all same pricing?
The sign backing, yes.
As far as, I mean, who is located, like Sabrice is at the top, the Hollister Jet Center?
That can be changed. So right now, like I said, the $100 would be the suggestion. We want to change something. We can do, like you said, Prime Realty, like last time.
Right.
Prime Realty on top, or we can do
Are
that
you
too.
working before the signs are up? Are you working on a, I guess, a format or procedure to determine that, so that everyone knows in advance that you pay this much if you want to be at the top, or so that there's no bias?
We
Yeah.
could do that. I think right now they're in the process of it. I don't have it on hand, but Tony
I think
and
it would be
the
good
office they're doing it.
to have a policy or process.
Something set up prior.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that everybody knows that the reason they're at the top is not because they're,
Okay. And the
This
signs
is
actually can
Tony.
be mounted.
This is Tony. There's an application that's going out to everybody. It's in the packet. We're sending it out with our notification of inspection this year. Our inspection is going to be a little earlier than it usually is. But there will be an application and procedure in your envelope.
great, thank you,
Thank you, Tony.
You're welcome.
You good?
Adam, this is the sign you were talking about, right? This.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
What about the open house fly-in, 110th anniversary?
We have nothing new on that. No news. No new items or anything on that. So
have we determined the date of when the 110th anniversary is? Is it March, May?
I
mean,
believe
just
it was
to-
May. Tony, do you remember? I think I had it on my other notes.
I believe it's in August.
August of next year?
I don't know the
Not-
exact dates, but
Yeah, I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's not that we would want to do anything on that date, it's just that it maybe around that date. I know the anniversary of the city is next year also for 150 years, so we just want to, I was thinking if they're around the same date, we could all celebrate the same.
Yeah, I think that the city has something in the works or have been planning it. I know they had something last council meeting regarding something downtown holding, I'm not sure. Paul might remember, I think it was August maybe?
yeah.
I'm
it's
not real
August,
sure,
but I
I'm
don't-
sorry.
I don't know the exact dates. I'm not sure if it was like, it was 17th, 18th, and 19th. I don't know if they were talking about doing a 3-day or 1-day. It's still up
Yeah,
for discussion.
you're right. I don't think they ever decided. I think they were working on the money issue.
So if we want to do something like this, would you like to do it at a different time than the city?
I mean, probably would be nice to have it separate from the city, but to, if we don't have enough interest in volunteers, if the city wanted to allow us to be part, a combined celebration, I don't see any reason not to, especially if we can combine funds or join forces and have similar volunteers with Boy Scouts and all the different clubs and have raffles and stuff like that, maybe in advance to cover the cost. I guess we would need to talk to the city to determine, or Brett to see if,
The city
city
manager's
manager, yeah.
office is the one who's.
right.
Yeah, so it'd be Brett and Daisy. It'd be the best people to coordinate that with.
Okay.
So the city is actually thinking about doing something in regards to the 110th anniversary of the airport?
No,
Well, it's the 150th
50th
anniversary of the city itself
City.
being incorporated.
All right,
Which is in
okay,
August, so
okay.
we're thinking of the 110th.
I got you now, okay.
Maybe we could combine them in some way.
So CAL FIRE lease, no new info on that. It's still as it was. Let's see, the CAL FIRE, the Firehawk, it's arriving November 19th. That's the actual date that I'm getting, and I got that today, so that's the most up to date that I have on that.
And the parking spot they're keeping that is right next to the fire trucks, fuel trucks.
Yes,
Okay.
that's where they're taxing. So they're gonna park there temporarily until the tankers leave, and then they'll permanently park it where the tankers currently are.
And when do the tankers leave for the season?
I believe it was December 22nd or something like that. He said
Okay.
it's not confirmed. Obviously, the season can go longer. So
On November 19th, when they arrive, is there any chance of getting a tour, having
I'm
some of the commission?
sure I can ask him about it. I'm sure he can get somebody in there. I'm not sure as far as if you can get, how close you can get with the
Right.
restrictions and stuff. But we've
I'm
been talking to him
just saying
about.
to take some pictures and
Oh,
see it
definitely.
take off and land.
Yeah,
just
we
to
can
see
meet up.
what the-
You know, we can meet up. It's on I believe a Friday.
Okay,
So
if
we
you
can
could let us know, that would be great.
sure, and then we can get you out there on the ramp and stuff.
Awesome.
Hopefully not in front of anybody's planes.
No.
So that one, the Rubino, they are in the inspection stage of that, I believe. They have the test on the vents and stuff, so it looks like they're not burying anything yet, but they're at that testing point where the street is. So they'll be burying that once it does pass inspection, if it does. And then they can bury that. For the ends hanger, there's no new updates on that. Nothing has changed. Airport manager, city council, it's the same as last, so city council approved it, but it hasn't been posted yet.
Any
Um,
idea of when it will be posted?
I think that would be the city manager's, whenever they decide, I believe. Is it-
Okay.
Next, airport maintenance. Specifically, do we want to start with anywhere, or want to start here?
Well, the photograph that I brought there,
Okay.
and it's something that I had shown to Mike a couple of years ago. And
I'm aware.
saying, if you don't maintain this,
Yes.
it
Only gets
tears
worse.
itself apart.
Only gets worse.
And hasn't changed.
Yeah, so I have since, say, 2 weeks ago now, we've got the streets department working on getting the equipment over and a
Okay.
team, because we also need a team to run a big piece of equipment. So we're gonna issue a NOTAM for it. We probably won't shut the taxiways down, but we will issue a NOTAM so everybody's aware, and we'll go on a pull away zone, because that stuff cools off quickly. When we set it down, it'll cool off quickly. You can drive
Yeah.
right over it within a minute. So we're gonna get out there, we're gonna get a crew, and they're trying to schedule for that crew as well. So
Right.
since it rained recently, that's made a huge difference, so.
Good.
So we will get to that, definitely.
And can you tell me from these pictures where it actually is again?
This
That-
is Alpha, this is probably Alpha, was say, north of Delta, probably near
back in
Foxtrot. right next to Foxtrot is where it begins, I believe. So we have, it's been paved from Echo, I believe, Echo to Delta, or Delta to Echo, and then Foxtrot from Foxtrot to Echo, I believe, is where we do need major patching, which is this.
And actually, this is in front of the west hangars over there,
Is it? Okay. Yeah, this one, yeah, this one is too. Okay.
but they're everywhere.
Yes, they're all over the place, and that failing asphalt at the end does not help at all.
No.
So we'll get to the cracks. Anything else? So maintenance, I mean, we do a little of everything. There's only 2 of us on the airfield. I've spoken to maybe a couple of you of what we do on the airport, because a lot of what we do is not seen directly, maybe. So like you guys, the pilots, the tenants, they'll fly, drive, and the lights are working. Well, they're working for a reason. we've been out there. We're in the middle of the day, in the morning, we're out there fixing them. And it's different from just switching a light bulb out. So a lot of what we do is just goes unseen, which is fine. That's what I would rather have it unseen than, in this case, being seen, you know. So a lot of what we do is that. So we got a definite great crew out there, a crew of 2 in this case. And
We know you work very
is,
hard.
The office is definitely, wonderful help for us. Great communication, and they help us so much, so to keep our job a little easier for us.
Is this new position that's listed going to help you?
This
The
is actually when
airport.
I was hired. So that was just kind of a description of what was required of me
Okay.
as I
I
came
thought
in.
someone new was coming on, that's why.
I wish. So that was just the specifics of kind of what they would require eventually of me. So doing all the training I've done so far and keeping all my certs is difficult in itself, so.
But you're not leaving us.
I'm not leaving, no.
Okay, good.
Definitely not.
Good.
Next, NBAA overview. So, Brett was gonna have, city manager was gonna have a little report for us, but he's not here today. So what we're gonna do, so when I went there, I went with an open mind thinking, what can I do? What am I there for, What am I going for? And I went to network. So I went with an open mind, and I have the pictures there of our actual booth, the table that we built here at the airport, at our airport. We transferred it over there. We ship it a month ahead of time. But Tony and Liz do a great job of getting that prepped up, and we tag it and they pick it up. So we shipped that over, and we assembled it when we get there. I did it on Monday. Brett and I did it, the city manager, Brett, and I built it on Monday. And then we had some wonderful help at our booth over here. They were great with a lot of the networking and having us meet new people that we'd never met before. So for me, it was just a lot of networking, learning about futures of the airport. A lot of different things in there there was so much stuff walking through this whole conference that I had no idea about, And then, so just learning of it is, like I said, I'm not leaving you, so I went to learn for the future and current of our airport, so.
You weren't job hunting.
No, definitely not. Definitely
good.
not. I love working and living local, so I'll hopefully stay there for a while.
Good, well, the setup looks very nice.
Thank you. Got a lot of
Really
compliments on
outstanding.
it.
I'd like to know, what was the turnout like for,
It was actually really good for a small event. Usually they're a lot bigger, obviously. I think they said the last one was like 3 or 4 times that, which was because everybody was.
did they
in that
limit
time.
it because of COVID?
You
or-
had to be vaccinated to be there and then have a mask on.
And
Or
did-
you can have your mask once you checked in, actually.
But
Have
did
have
they
your mask
still
on.
limit how many people were allowed in?
Not that I'm
No.
aware of. Yeah, it was just pretty free of everybody going in and out. Once they were with their check-in, everybody had their badges.
So what's the benefit of you guys attending this event?
For us, it was just networking, getting people to
Exposure.
know exposure. There were people that actually are more local, San Jose-ish, and they had no idea we were there. Even though it shows it on the
List
maps
of-
that you have, you're
Right.
flying, it shows a map of Hollister Airport, so you kind of almost know where it's at. But people have flown like basically over us and not stopped at our airport, so which is great. Hey, stop in. There's they were asking if there's a restaurant. There's a restaurant there. It's pretty good in my.
We have a long runway.
Yeah,
for your
the biggest
jets.
runway. Fairly new at flying. Yeah, it's a definite place to practice, which was great. And we talked to a lot of students also. There were a lot of students at this place, and they were saying they were, interested in
interested.
at least learning about it. And we had one gentleman that was actually trained at the Gavilan College here when it was here
Oh,
at our
wow.
airport, and now I think he runs a company.
Wow.
So it was pretty
That's
interesting
nice.
to hear,
That
somebody
perspective.
local,
Right.
doing something a lot bigger
That
too.
started
Yes,
at Hollister.
at this airport, yes.
Well, it's good to have that kind of exposure. Do you pass out information about the airport?
Definitely, yeah. We have
Um,
pamphlets, actually. I should have brought you guys some. We have them at the office though, anytime.
Is there
Um,
any way that you can track feedback specifically from that convention to see how beneficial it is?
Beneficial as far as
As far
us.
as how much exposure Hollister gets as far as, feedback from people
I could look
who-
into that. I mean, I have some people that we obviously network with that had been to other conferences. So this was my first one. I had no idea what was going to happen there, what's going on. So I went in open-minded and tried to learn everything I could, talk to as many people as I could.
I was just curious with, the eventual closing of Reed Hillview, if there were people from there that were saying, oh, is there any space at Hollister?
There was a
to-"
lot of that.
Okay.
A lot of that.
So
Constantly.
that's the kind of exposure I think that's really good.
And that was the
because-
map as well. So the map did a great job of, this is runway 31. This is
Awesome.
what we have next to it available,
Right, and these are the spaces we
outside
have
the, yeah, and there's
through
no
the
home.
fence
The
development.
great thing that they liked was there's no homes directly built up against ours, like
Right.
Watsonville and Reed Hillview and all these other small airports. They have building homes closer and closer, and then
And eventually the airport has to close,
so business is all around us, which is great.
but they're developing it well right
Yes.
now, so that's good.
Yes, we want to keep it that way.
Okay, good. Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
You made mention of through the fence agreement. That was the next one.
No, there's nothing else, nothing new on that.
Still working on it.
Yes, definitely.
How about remove of the old buildings? These are the old buildings that are behind the Jet Center, right on the east side of the Jet Center, behind Sabrice's.
Tony, you want to?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. We ran into just a bit of a snag there. Found out that on building 14, which is over there by the RVs, that's their electrical panel that it provides electricity to the RVs. So we're going to have that moved. PG&E is going to have that pole moved. So, and you probably know that PG&E takes a while to get things done. So we put in an application to move the pole and move that electrical panel before we can demo that building.
So you've already gone out to bid for the demo?
It has been. I don't know who, Renee Perales is the one that's working on going out for bid. We have had two parties that have gone in there. So I don't know who got the bid. I don't know.
Tony, were you able to take advantage of any of the grant funding for that?
No. The city is the one that's taking care of this. This is not, it's not done by the airport.
I have a good contact at PG&E that may be able to facilitate things a little faster, so I'll reach out to you.
Oh, it sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What do you have for the master plan?
Master plan, that's available through the city website. I don't have anything specific on it, but it's on the city website. You can access it from there.
Is it just an updated
It's-
one?
It's a what?
Is it an updated one?
I'm not sure actually. It's it.
Maybe it was only on here because people asked where they could find it, maybe?
Possibly. I think it was mentioned last time too.
That's
But
not
I think
what's-
Tony had emailed everybody though that it was
Right.
available there.
Okay.
And that's not the, master plan isn't the one that has to be needs
The
to be
ALP.
updated?
Mm,
That's the ALP.
That's the ALP
Yeah,
that needs to
ALP.
be updated every 5 years.
Yeah, the master
Okay.
plan's different.
So we could just take the master plan off the next.
Yeah, well, I think there's a lot we can clean up for the items for next agenda when we get there. Letter I, bylaw?
So the bylaw, so we want to, so am I correct, Tony? The section 3.8 and 3.9 we need to vote on?
Yeah, the two paragraphs that are in italics.
Yes, 3.8, 3.9.
We need to vote on those.
Would you like me to read them, or you guys want to go ahead and read that? And then we can
Give us a sec, I think. that's
Okay,
good.
no problem.
I have one question about section 3.8. Is this in person, or can it also be Zoom, or is now a requirement that you need to attend in person and not Zoom?
Sorry, Commissioner Wells, what was that a question?
So the question is on section 3.8 attendance policy, it doesn't specify that you're expected to attend all meetings in person. I wondered if you can attend them via Zoom or in person. And then it seemed like with this meeting, it was a mandatory no Zoom meeting. And so I just wondered if you could explain
Yeah,
the policy.
I'll try to explain as best as I can because it's more of a city clerk thing. Obviously, through COVID, the cities were given leeway as far as Brown Act restrictions being eased. And that all kind of ended, I believe, the end of September. And so basically there is a new AB 1, I believe is the law that got passed to allow for kind of hybrid type of meetings, but it kind of restricts the councils and the commissions to actually attend in person, but allow for the public to be able to still participate in the meetings remotely. There is a piece of that the council on Monday night at their meeting, every 30 days, it allows to extend the emergency powers that will allow council and commissions to still remote in like they have been doing, but it's got to be basically agreed and approved every 30 days. So city clerk is currently getting that wording together to present to the council for approval on Monday night. And if that all goes through, then it opens it up for the commissions to attend via Zoom again until emergency is,
So,
Do you want to go?
I'm sorry.
I'm viewing the 3.8 as saying that if you miss 2 of them, that's your resignation. And then the in-person, I believe, is a separate issue that is citywide.
I just think that it needs, the language needs to be adjusted to say you're expected to attend all meetings, whether in person or via Zoom, as not required, but as approved by the city. Some kind of language, it just
Yeah,
doesn't make it seem like you have
I
to
think eventually it's all going to go back where
in person.
everybody's going to be in person, but it just allows that the public can participate in the meetings and comment and all that during the actual meeting without having to be here. But it's,
I mean, I do think it's good to have a presence in person for the council or the commission. So I agree that we could just leave it, I guess, the way it is, with the assumption that if they say we can do it by Zoom, that's attendance, and we won't be, we'll be
yeah,
counted as
it's
attending.
based on the Brown Act,
Right.
the restrictions that are in place for any commission or any council.
It's
and-
in person.
Yeah.
Right.
So we're just discussing, I believe this is a new section saying that if you have 2 absences in a calendar year, then that's your resignation?
Unexcused absences.
An excused absence, oh, okay. So we're just voting on whether or not we agree with that.
Yes.
I believe all the other commissions are similar, where if it's unexcused, like 2 in a row or something like that, they'll try to reach out to make sure you're still part of the commission, obviously. But, too many of those, and you're assumed that you don't want to participate in the last few
You're not
resignations.
interested.
Yeah,
Which
exactly.
is
But
the
that's more
point
of
of
the
being
city
on a
clerk.
commission.
The city
right.
clerk will do that process.
And so who decides whether or not it's an excused absence?
Well, normally whoever's running the meeting or taking the minutes will, take a roll call. Usually ahead of time, they'll know if a certain person's not going to be at the meeting, they'll know why, they'll excuse it.
Okay.
If during the meeting there was no communication, they were expected to be here, they're not here. And, after the meeting, they'll try to, you missed the meeting, or try to get whatever the reason is for that. So, and if they respond, great. If not, then you start trying to, get it in writing as far as their resignation at that point.
So this is more of just you're letting us know that these 2 bylaws are now in place. We're not voting on this, correct?
Yes, we do need to
Yes.
vote on it.
Oh, we do need to vote on it.
Yes.
Oh.
3.8
So-
and 3.9 were,
Right, the two, 3.8 and 3.9 are new items to the bylaws, so we need to approve the amended bylaws,
yes.
including these two.
Those two. Correct.
Additions. I would like to make a motion that the amended November 2021 bylaws for the Airport Advisory Commission be approved as noted, with the 2 new sections 3.8 and 3.9 included. Do we have a second?
A question I have is, if we wanted to make any change to that, are we allowed to do that? In other words, if we wanted to add something there. What I'm looking at is someone like Fred, who I'd like to see stay on the commission, but I don't even know why he's not here. I just saw it's not on Zoom, he's not gonna attend, so I'm thinking he's 85 years old. I don't know if he's gotten shots or doesn't want to get shots. So it might be a short-term situation where we accommodate somebody like that.
I'm sure there is, I'm sure there's a process of, confirming, the attendance of commissioners or council members to make sure they're, they want to be a part of the commission.
I mean, it's just not any different
It's
than
it's
Tony
not like
being
you
on
missed
Zoom.
2 in a row and you're off completely. I think there's a process,
Yeah.
and that's usually through the city clerk's office. I mean, I can get that information and pass it along.
Yeah. But I
It's
think
exactly what the process is at that point to confirm.
I agree. I mean, I think there would be stipulations for, like ADA laws that require you to be cognizant of those situations, and that's the only reason I was thinking that Zoom needed to be included, but it sounds like the whole point of the the point of the bylaws is to make sure you're making a commitment, and that you're interested and you're going to be here to be part of to advise, not to exclude people that are on Zoom.
Yes.
I mean, that would be, I think the intention of the bylaws is to.
Right, and the whole Zoom thing, it's still kind of fresh, right? I mean, everybody's kind of used to it, but it really needs to go through the city attorney to, I know since that law has been passed, the city attorney has been basically saying this is what has to happen, right? We have to follow these new rules and stuff like that. So in order to continue the Zoom, it's got to go to council to approve, and then that just passes on to the rest of the commissions. That's not to say that even, maybe the state will pass another law saying that, okay, they're going to relax certain Brown Act that will provide for commissioners to do remote meetings, or remote attendance. But at this time, it's because it's under an emergency act type of thing that, it's only through that at this point that that's allowed, right? Otherwise, it's pretty much as it was before. You're expected to be here in person.
I guess I have one question about that, in that this meeting was mandatory in person. Is there a reason, did the 30-day period between the city approving the COVID
Well,
policy?
the city attorney interpreted the new law as the way it was written, I guess. So it basically just put the Brown Act piece of it back to where it was, right? Which before COVID, everybody was attending in person, correct? Including the public and stuff. Yeah. So what this new law does, it puts the commissioners and stuff back to being in person, following the Brown Act rules, but yet allows for the public side to still attend meetings remotely, to be able to participate and comment. We have to give the public the opportunity to attend, comment, follow along with the meetings and stuff like that. But it is to say that those rules that were in place before COVID are kind of coming back, right? But there's a little bit of flexibility on the public side. And the city attorney said a way around that is for every 30 days as long as, they continue the emergency powers type of thing, that will allow the council and commissioners to still be able to do remote meetings. It could be either here in person or remote at that point. It's something kind of new or kind of grasping, so that's why it's kind of being rushed out to council on Monday to get that going. Otherwise, and the last meeting, they all had to be here. And Councilman Perez was out of town. He wanted to Zoom in, he could not. He could not participate whatsoever. So because of that, it's kind of, until they actually rule on being able to do this for another 30 days, that will allow him or any of them to Zoom in at that point. If that all makes sense. I'm kind of jumbling everything, but.
I'm in agreement with the amendments or the changes to the bylaws, only in that it says you're expected to attend all meetings of the commission. It doesn't say in person or via Zoom. But I still have some hesitations because of those that can't attend or don't feel comfortable and are part of the commission. I would hate them to be taken off the commission because there's no way for them to attend except in person. Do we want to take a vote, or do we need to take a vote tonight, whether nay or yay, correct?
Yes.
Does anyone else have any input about it? I mean, we have,
I think you hit a good point there where it doesn't say you have to be here. So I think you can go along with this. I like the idea if you're not willing to make the meetings, you can't even make a phone call to say why you're not going to make the meetings, go. I don't need you here. But since this doesn't really define that you have to be in person, you have to attend.
it's kind of open.
You can
Well,
kinda
it implies that
waffle.
you're attending the meeting, whether it's extended that you can do it on remotely or not.
Yeah.
It implies that you must attend the meetings, right? If
Right.
you're going to be part of the commission. So that it's kind of open-ended,
Right.
but it needs to, at the same time, kind of be that way to follow whatever the state puts out, or, you know,
The-
whatever
right.
the laws are that change.
Right. It can't be inclusive for everything.
Yeah, we can't
so-
put, you can do it remotely when you, in fact, you're violating a law saying, you know, that you can't do that. So it just leaves it kind of open that you're you're expected to attend the meetings. How you attend those meetings depends on what's available at the time, right? So.
Do I need to make another motion, or can I carry the motion that I had, or present the motion that I made and just go for a vote? Or should I
You may want to redo the
redo?
motion.
Okay, just to be clear.
Right.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the amended November 2021 Hollister Airport Advisory Commission bylaws as amended with sections 3.8 and 3.9 included as it stands. Do we have a second?
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Last item is EDC newsletter.
Chairperson, Pinkowski?
Yes.
Sorry. Just so you know, I do have a speaker card for this item. So when that time comes, you may want to have public comment.
Would you like to do that now?
Do you want to go ahead and just present, or do you want? Yeah, that's what I say. You want to go ahead and just present what you're doing, but allow for this public comment at the end.
You just want me to say that we're going to the public comment? Is that all?
We have a public comment.
No, go ahead and discuss it, and then before you, I don't know if you're going to vote on anything or anything, but if
No.
not, you know, open a public comment at the end of that.
Okay. So we'll make it through the reports, and then we'll go back to the public comment.
Well, for this item,
For
this item particularly EDC newsletter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Does anyone have any conversation or discussion about the press release from the E EDC?
I'd just like to say congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You say that now. You say that now.
I might be the one missing
No. Are you leaving us?
Uh,
I won't be.
Who was ahead before? Okay. Business Development Manager, Okay.
while I take the lead as Executive Director.
Do you want to open for public comment at this point?
Well, I think you might be better at being airport manager, but that's all right.
With no further comments, we'll go to the public input.
Okay. We have Ruth Erickson.
Ruth Erickson, Hollister Ambulance Association. The EDC, which is the Economic Development Department, knows that the airport is important to business. One of the things that needs to be looking at, which I feel, along with any airport signage, for many years, a large sign, street sign on San Felipe Road between Fallon Road and the airport was knocked down by accident and has never been replaced. I don't know if that part of San Felipe is city or county, but I think it needs to be replaced, especially now that we're looking more at the airport for business. A lot of our local newcomers have no idea that we even have an airport. In fact, some of the people who've lived here for years don't know. You know that. So we need that sign. There is a little sign as before you get to San Felipe. Before you get to Fallon Road. But it's so small, and it talks about the police department and so on, you could easily miss it. This was a big street sign with an arrow to the airport. It's needed. And then, well, the other thing was, unfortunately, I got here late because I was thinking of the city council meetings at 6:30, so I can't really bring up something else. That was the main thing. It needs to be replaced. I have talked to the county, but even the person that was talking with me didn't know if that portion of the street was city or county. But you guys need to be talking to them about it because it needs to be replaced. Thank you.
Ruth, do you have a picture of that sign?
No, once it was knocked down, I obviously didn't take a picture of it because it was always there. Then when it was knocked down years ago, why would I take a picture? It was
There must
knocked
be
down.
a picture somewhere that we could look
We'll have
at.
to find out.
I don't remember.
Oh, yeah, it
How-
was there between Fallon Road and the airport.
How
on the
long
right-hand
ago
side.
was it when it was knocked down?
Some years. I brought it up several times and nobody's done anything about it, which is a shame. But it's really needed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we don't have any old business. Or do we want to bring up any old business?
I have no old business.
All right, we can go to new business. Line 8.
Nothing new.
No new business?
Can we look to get information for this airport sign
Sure.
for new business? See, I think we need to see if it falls on the airport or the city, correct?
Yes. Or
Airport,
county.
city,
or county.
or
in
county,
this
yeah.
case. I believe some of that is Caltrans as well, being
Okay.
that it was a highway.
Well, let's see if we can get some information on
Okay.
that.
We'll do.
That'd be great.
Any other new business?
When you were at the convention, do you have any flyers that you passed out to highlight the airport?
I do have some. They're not here with me though. I do have them at the office. We can. We
But
want
I-
to stop in, or I think we can email them to you.
I would think
It's
it
a-
would probably be a good idea to provide some to the chamber and
Definitely.
business council
Okay.
and maybe have something online because all of those organizations put stuff on their website to highlight Hollister, and we all love the airport. I think it would be great.
Yeah, Hollister has
have-
the website as well, and I think that same flyer is on there with the
Oh, it
pictures
is?
and stuff.
Okay. It would just be nice to share it and get it out there, and if the chamber has it available, probably be a good idea. So
Okay.
I'd like to see it too.
Okay.
Items for next agenda. I think we can clean up some of the stuff, not bring everything over from reports. I would suggest keeping B, the open house, the flying anniversary. The CAL FIRE lease, it would be nice to know what's going on with them on the other side of, on the east side of, the west side of Kilo. The helicopter will be here by the time the next meeting. F for the airport.
We probably should keep the hangar, the Rubino and Inns hangars, because there's no news right now, and their inspections, and those
Okay.
are, especially for Inns, that's the through the fence first agreement with arrangement for the through the fence agreement, and so I think it's worthwhile to keep it on the,
Okay. So then E as well. We can get an update on the airport maintenance with the crack and see where you guys are at with that.
On the which one?
Airport maintenance, G.
Okay.
I would leave the airport manager on there too, just because it hasn't been, the job
Posted.
description hasn't been posted yet.
Okay.
So I'd like to know when it's posted so that we know there's applicants or what the status is of that.
Okay.
We don't need the overview.
No, need the overview. The through the fence agreement is really the, does that fall under the ends hanger, or is it really still a separate report?
There's actually two items because the ends hanger, I think everyone wants to know when it's ready to be leased or rented. And the same with Rabina when they've moved in. Both of them they've taken possession of them, or not possession, but you know what I mean. They've moved in, or they're available to use. And then through the fence is that they're working on an agreement and outlining the arrangement for through the fence. And there's property around the airport besides ends
Okay.
that would have, it would be beneficial if this new arrangement is defined and everyone knows what the procedure and plan is. I know it's a long process because it has to go through the FAA, so it may take 6 months, but I think to leave it on there just so.
Okay.
Renee, I can tell you where I'm at right now with the access permit for through the fence. It's been reviewed, it's been written by us, it's been reviewed by our consultant. It's gone through the city manager and our city attorney. Right now, it's in the hands of the property owners. That would be Ken Lindsay and Bob Enns. So they've had it for a few weeks now. Once they review it and add their comments, then it will go to the FAA.
Okay.
Thanks, Tony.
You're welcome.
I think we move forward with J on the removal of the old buildings for status update on that. And that's it, unless somebody wants to keep something else, the last three.
Did we leave the signs on there? The sign update from vendor. I know it doesn't need to be an update, but I guess you have a new vendor, but there's no agreement yet, right? Have you come to?
No,
Okay.
not that I'm aware of.
So maybe it would be nice just to know sign vendor update, and maybe if there's a policy for.
That's what I have written down
yeah,
there, the policy
that-
for now. You want
right.
to keep it on there then?
I would like to.
Okay.
So the items for next time are the sign update or the sign vendor and update. Are we keeping the open house?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Cal Fire lease. The fire hawk we don't need anymore, right?
Correct.
The hangar status, the airport manager, through the fence.
I wanted
and-
the airport maintenance too,
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's more, oh, yes.
just
because
to
of-
see the improvement on the work.
Sure.
Through the fence
And removal of the old buildings.
and remove the old buildings. Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Does that work for you, Mark?
You good?
Yes.
Perfect. Any action items?
Nothing.
And next meeting date? Special meeting to be determined in December?
Oh, it
To-
says to be determined on there in December, so it's.
I
It hasn't been determined because of the holidays, or?
believe so. This is what was written, so maybe Tony will have something
It's
on that.
probably Christmas, it's around Christmas, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we usually have a special meeting in December. We skip November. We usually have a special meeting in December. So we'll have to kind of get a vote on who's available when and which day we can do it, and the availability of the council chambers.
So we just have to be on the lookout for an email from you to coordinate all that?
Yes,
So no meeting in November.
correct.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make
Go ahead.
a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thanks, Tony.
Recording stopped.